Welcome to the Denison University Library Site Redesign project. This project will take a look at the library website for Denison University, a four-year private liberal arts college located in Granville, Ohio. The client for this project stated that they wanted to have some usability testing done for the library website, as well as for their LibGuides. Based on the information that was provided from a questionnaire, the library page does not share the same goals of directing students towards a major and retaining them, but instead seeks to provide an intuitive portal for the library's many resources. This report looks at the usability and the viability of the library page as a portal. The website for the library has a pretty simple design with some of the university branding apparent on it. It does concentrate most of the content links for the library in a few different places. We have some basic search functionality, a widget for searching in some particular databases, a large image linking to the LibGuides, which are also linked in a few other places on the library website, a short introductory video, contact information, and some other highlighted links. The methodology for testing this website was done through a few different approaches. The first was looking at the accessibility options of the website and trying to determine exactly how usable and accessible the site might be to people who, for instance, need to use screen navigation devices which read the content of the website and describe it to the person who may have visual impairments or have other needs. The wave report for the Denison Library actually returned no errors whatsoever, although there were some contrast issues listed. There were a high number of alerts for the website, areas where there could potentially be some problems, as well as a high number of structural elements and some potential ARIA issues. The ARIA issues that were listed on the site included a lot of hidden objects which would not necessarily be identifiable to a screen reading device. The structural elements also present some navigation issues in terms of either filtering students away from the website without any possibility to return, or just presenting a large number of potentially confusing things for people who use screen readers. It should be noted, however, that the majority of the issues that were identified by the WAVE test were actually from the university template features rather than from the specific content of the library website. The LibGuides, by contrast, had far fewer errors. There is simply one heading error for the site, some minor contrast issues, and then very few errors and alerts in these other places. Personas were constructed in order to try to get an idea for the types of users that the library website would have. Alex is the typical college student at Denison. They are a student who has often two goals. They might be looking for specific titles of a book or for some in-depth research papers and articles for a given assignment. Alex is most likely an on-campus university student, as the university does not have any fully online courses, although they do offer some hybrid on and off campus options. Likely, having come to the website fairly often, Alex is going to understand the types of searches and the features on the website. The links at the home page might change over time, and those are based on the statistical usages from the students. And if they don't find the particular materials that they need, then Alex will turn to in-person library assistance. Atypical users are a little bit harder to pin down. This student, Terry, they could be new. Could be a student who maybe only prefers in-person services. They don't go to the library website at all. Maybe they don't really even use the library website and or the library services, and only go to the library for extracurricular functions, programs, and other events that might be hosted at the library. The library doesn't really have a whole lot of data on the types of issues that Terry might have, as they really only get to interact with Terry when they come to in-person services. Card sorting was used to try to determine exactly how familiar people would be with the links that are presented on the library, and to help determine exactly how it functions as a portal. Card sorting was done with users who were not familiar with the website. 20 cards based off of the various links and widget options on the home page were constructed, along with some descriptions of what the functionality of each item was. Users were then tasked to sort these links into however many categories they felt were appropriate of their own description. 4 participants were tested, with education levels ranging from no higher education at all to a graduate degree with a master's in MLIS. Ages ranged from 28 to 61, with a median age of 38. Participants all took between 4 to 9 minutes to complete the sorting exercise. It was found that nearly all of the participants created some sort of a main menu and help and information groupings containing roughly the same contact and general library information links. Cards containing things more specific library content like libguides and databases were not grouped consistently among any of the participants, and none of the participants grouped the content that was listed under helpful links on the library similarly to how they were displayed there. The website does have some pretty good mobile layouts. It does seem that the website is designed to adapt to whatever screen size might be present. But all of the same navigation and other usability and accessibility issues are present on the mobile site as well. It does seem as though the majority of the issues crop up in the header and footer from the website template. So here are some of the recommendations that this report has for addressing some of the issues that came up during the usability and accessibility research. A large recommendation is fixing the contrast errors on the site, either avoiding having dark black or very dark backgrounds with fonts and icons that are of a similar low contrast. Red tends to be a difficult color to spot on both dark backgrounds and light backgrounds, so having red text is something that should probably be avoided. Reducing the overall redundancy of the website will also help. The homepage does have quite a few links to essentially the same LibGuides website. It would be helpful to condense all of these links together and possibly combine them with the large image carousel that is on the website, having a rotating series of different images indicating the different types of LibGuides that are being presented, and that can be changed over time without confusing students by linking them in multiple different locations on the site. If possible, I would also recommend reducing the presence of some of the header and footer elements of the university template. A lot of these contain the usability and accessibility issues that cropped up in the Wave tool. The header also contains a number of search and links which direct away from the library website with no possibility to get back to the website except through the use of the browser's back button. Unless the user has the library page specifically bookmarked, it is particularly difficult to find the library website from the university site. I would also recommend adding some sort of an ability to log into a student's library account on the library homepage that could then authenticate them across the other resources that they use, instead of asking them to navigate to that resource and then log in. Overall, the Denison Library website accomplishes what it is setting out to do. It is a very usable portal. It has remarkably few accessibility and usability errors compared to a lot of other websites out there. The LibGuides in particular seem to be very usable from that approach. And the library is already using the data that they get from their websites and from their students to try to evaluate the information. I would also recommend conducting some further card sorting surveys with their user base to get a more specific idea of the types of content that should be present and how convenient it would be to group the items together.